Since the world first learned about China through the traveler Marco Polo's writings more than 700 years ago, this enormous Asian nation has come to be seen as the epitome of everything that is enigmatic and strange. Even now, decades of economic expansion later, this huge nation still holds a certain allure. In fact, the contrast between China's traditional ways and the emerging, ultra-modern state has only served to heighten interest in a long-standing way of life. The preservation of significant historical landmarks like the Forbidden City and the Summer Palace in Beijing, each of which recalls the era of China's emperors, shows how much the Chinese people value their culture. And of course there is the fabled Great Wall, which stretches 6,700 kilometers from the Yellow Sea to Central Asia and is dotted with many sites that capture the essence of the ancient Eastern religions. If you want to be amazed at how beautiful these destinations are, stick around for number 1 because it will blow your mind. Before starting, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel The Writer. So let's start. Number 10. The Great Wall of China. According to a proverbial Chinese proverb, nobody can be a true hero unless he has gone on the Great Wall, emphasizing the significance Chinese people attach to this extraordinary old structure. From the fortresses of Shenheguan in the east to Jiayuguan in the west, the magnificent Great Wall of China, also known as Chongcheng, or the Long Wall, spans more than 6,000 kilometers. It passes through the provinces of Hebei, Tientsin, Beijing, where the best preserved sections of the wall can be seen, Inner Mongolia, Ningxia, and Gansu. The wall is composed of multiple battlements and watchtowers, averaging 6 to 8 meters in height but reaching as high as 16 meters, and broad enough in some spots for 5 horses or 10 men to pass. While the best-known portions of the wall were added around 210 BC when its various parts were linked together, some of the wall's earliest defenses date back to the 7th century BC. Number 9. The Terracotta Army, Xi'an. Farmers in the outskirts of Xi'an discovered the Terracotta Army in the 1970s while digging wells there. This discovery would become China's most significant archaeological find. The discovery featured more than 8,000 life-size warriors, 520 horses, and more than 100 chariots, as well as a vast number of other non-military characters, all of which were created to defend the tomb of the first emperor. Many of the statues that were uncovered have been painstakingly reassembled and stand as a witness to the emphasis placed on the emperor in the afterlife, even though others have been seriously damaged by the passage of time. One of China's top tourist locations, the Emperor Qin Shi Huang's Mausoleum Site Park, offers the amazing experience of standing in front of this grouping of soldiers and horses as though watching a centuries-old parade. There are guided tours offered in English. Number 8. The Summer Palace, Beijing. One of China's most popular tourist destinations, the lavish Imperial Summer Palace Yeyuan is located just 15 kilometers outside of Beijing and is surrounded by more than 700 acres of picturesque parks. The imperial gardens were improved with the addition of the palace's enormous lake in the 14th century, but the palace itself was constructed in 1153. The grandiose Hall of Benevolence and Longevity Renshu Dian, complete with its throne, and the lovely Great Theatre, a private 3-story building constructed in 1891 to gratify the imperial family's passion for opera, are among the highlights. It is worthwhile to visit this historic location to see a performance or show because it is still utilized to stage traditional Chinese plays and musical events. Number 7. Cruising the Li River, Guilin. The northeastern Guangxi town of Guilin is home to some of the most picturesque landscape in China. It is also well known for the Li River, which meanders through the town and neighboring karst mountains. While this distinctive landscape has long drawn poets and painters and served as the inspiration for innumerable fairy tales and legends, it is now a favorite destination for travelers from all over the world who want to experience this natural beauty up close. A trip along the Li River is the greatest way to experience the region. Trips can last anywhere from a few hours to many days, depending on the type of boat utilized. You can choose from a tourist cruise ship to small bamboo punts. Number 6. The Yangtze River and the Three Gorges. The Yangtze River, also known as Chongjiang in China, is the longest and most significant river in that country. It is also the third longest river in the world, behind the Amazon and the Nile. The Yangtze River flows through 8 provinces on its more than 2,000-year journey from Tibet in the west to Shanghai in the east. Some 2,700 kilometers are navigable. With approximately 700 tributaries, it has a sizable catchment area that makes up nearly 1/5 of the nation's total area and a quarter of its agricultural land. Number 5. The classical gardens of Suzhou, Jiangsu. The classical gardens of Suzhou should be a top priority on any China travel itinerary because they are among the most significant historical gardens in the world, as evidenced by its status as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. These wonderful gardens, which can be seen in the Jiangsu province's historic city of Suzhou, were among the 270 or more gardens that were planted here during the city's phenomenal rise in the 11th century. The Garden of Lingering, a charming 7-acre setting designed in 1800 on the site of a park originally constructed during the Ming Dynasty, is the most well-known of the restored gardens that have survived. Number 4. The Potala Palace, Tibet. The beautiful Potala Palace in Lhasa, Tibet, is one more of China's most well-known historical buildings. Built as a fortress and the Dalai Lama's palace, it has housed many of the religion's most priceless artifacts for many years and served as a center of political and religious influence. The most significant shrines in the complex are located in the Red Palace, the older of the two Potala palaces, which was constructed in the 17th century. These can be found in the Enthronement Hall, which has murals covering its walls that show scenes from the Dalai Lama's and Tibetan kings' lives. The Red Palace's numerous, enormous chambers devoted to the religion's teachings and the magnificent graves often referred to as stupas of several Dalai Lamas are among its other highlights. Number 3. Shanghai's Promenade, the Bund. The Zhongshan Lu, or Bund, a beautiful riverbank promenade in Shanghai, is a wonderful example of intelligent city planning and preservation. You'll almost forget you're in the center of China's biggest city as you stroll along this spacious pedestrian zone along the Huangpu-Jiang River. The Bund is well known for its 52 maintained English and French-influenced buildings, many of which are now restaurants, cafes, shops, and art galleries. This European vibe is a result of the Bund's former use as the city's international settlement. Highlights of the architecture include the imposing Peace Hotel and the historic Port Customs Office, which both include bell towers and represent influences ranging from Gothic to Renaissance styles. Number 2. Hangzhou's historic West Lake. Few Chinese cities can boast the same number of magnificent historical sites and historic temples as Hangzhou. Much of this rich collection is concentrated around lovely West Lake, a 6-kilometer square stretch of water in the center of the old city, which is surrounded by numerous hills, pagodas, and temples. West Lake is the capital of Zhejiang Province and is situated at the southernmost end of China's famous Grand Canal. It's a wonderful location to explore on foot as you cross from one stretch of water to the next, only to be faced by another collection of lovely old houses. The area is divided into 5 distinct areas by man-made causeways going back as far as the 11th century. It's especially pleasant in the springtime when its numerous peach trees are in bloom. Number 1. The Hong Kong Skyline. Hong Kong has long been the humming center of finance and trade in this region of the Pacific, with what is regarded as one of the most striking city skylines in the world thanks to both its high concentration of skyscrapers and the presence of the lofty hills that frame them. And it's a cityscape that can be appreciated from a variety of viewpoints. The view from Victoria Peak on Hong Kong Island, where the skyscrapers frame the vast bay and are especially lovely at night, is one of the nicest. The view from Victoria Harbour itself is equally magnificent. From here, you can board one of Hong Kong's fabled boats and go to different locations, such Kowloon, to stroll about and explore. Or you might just remain on board and take in the scenery. What do you think of our video? Which place do you like most? Let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more future updates. Thanks for watching.